You're listening to the Big Shaw Sports Report on Northeast Streaming Sports.
We're almost ready to go. After this 30 seconds, we're ready to rock and roll. What's up, everybody? Sorry about yesterday. I was a little bit under the weather, and I want to thank everybody, my fans and everybody for checking up on me yesterday because y'all didn't have to. I know y'all was ready to see my face, but don't forget, after my show, I have another show with Unscripted. I will be with them guys tonight after my show, but I'm going to try not to hold people long. I know people have a life and got things to do. So just look at my face for the next 2 hours. I promise I will not bore y'all today. So let's just get into it today. I want to talk about Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry, he has been amazing. I haven't been watching the NBA lately, but I caught what Steph Curry has been doing. I know he's saying he should win MVP. That's what he's saying. Should he win the MVP? We don't know because he's on a team that's kind of up and down. I'm going with Joel Embiid. I think he should win the MVP. If I had a vote, who would I vote for? I wouldn't tell you, but I do think Joel Embiid, he has the opportunity to win the MVP. But Steph Curry, he's went out of his mind. The man is absolutely phenomenal. I love what he does on the court. Sometimes I think that he needs to be investigated because there's no way a man could shoot so pure just like that. But I want to give a quick shout out to my uncle Thomas Larry right quick. But the guy is great. One of the greatest shooters in the NBA. Deadly. Great career. But I do want to see the Warriors make a push and get a better seeding so they could get in deeper into the playoffs. I know Anthony Davis, he's back basically, but what I think the Lakers should do is don't start him. Let the man come back during the playoffs. Same for LeBron James, because if you rush these guys back too fast, it's not going to be good. It's going to be disaster for the Lakers and their fans. Don't rush these guys back. Yeah, the Lakers need them, but they don't need them right now. Now, I'm not a Lakers fan. I'm a Detroit Pistons fan. I've been a Detroit Pistons fan for a very long time. So don't rush these two guys back at all, because if you rush them back, the Lakers will be in trouble. But before I get into my headlines, I'm going to just keep giving you things that's coming across my phone. I know that the Fury and Joshua fight, both guys going to make money around what I think $75 million. So I don't watch UFC. But I do have a lot of news stuff about UFC. I know they let the fans in. The fans went absolutely crazy because this is the first time in a while that the fans has been back inside the UFC arena. So that's kind of exciting for the fans. And I was asked a few days ago, when I'm going to get into the UFC, will I ever talk about it? I don't know. It's something that I've been wanting to do, but I just haven't really had the time to sit there and watch a UFC fight. Now I know the big names like Conor McGregor and guys like that, but I haven't really had the time to sit down and watch a good fight. So let's get into some headlines. I have a lot of headlines, a lot of things to cover over the next hour. But like I said, after this, I switch right on over to the Unscripted show. So let's talk about the NCAA. They're going to tweak the overtime rules. They're going to tweak the overtime rules this year. And the Tennessee Vols, they're looking for hope, folks. Every year we go through this, every year about the Tennessee Vols. I'm going to speak on it. Normally I don't speak on the headlines, but today I will, because the Tennessee Vols need help. They're looking for hope. The coach and the players met the media today. What can Tennessee do to return back to that powerhouse team that we know that the Vols can do. You have a very great and passionate fan base out in Tennessee, old Rocky Top. I'm a fan when they don't play Tennessee, but what can Tennessee do? Tennessee has to find a way to win games and keep winning them. I know a few years ago, before my podcast even started, I was on the Tennessee bandwagon. I said, you know what? Tennessee, they was undefeated. They was doing really well. I'm sure somebody remember this game, the year Tennessee, they was undefeated. They was beating everybody. They get to Oklahoma, they lay a goose egg. They just flat out lost. Then the following week, they lost again. The following week, they lost again. So Tennessee has the talent. They had everything they need in Knoxville. They always had talent in Tennessee. You know, so what can they do to be a better team? The thing is recruit. You have people, you have guys that want to go play in Tennessee. Tennessee has a rich history. I've never heard nobody say, "Oh, I don't want to go to Tennessee." You got people choosing to go to Tennessee over Alabama, LSU, Florida, USC, another powerhouse. So it's something going on in Tennessee to where they have to find a way to connect with these great recruits. Because Alabama, LSU, even Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Florida, I'm just staying in the SEC. They get these recruits. So what Tennessee has to do, you have to hustle to get these guys to your school, to make your school great, to make your school that school that everybody wants to go to. So all eyes will be on Tennessee again this year, and I hope you don't let us down this year. Now, I'm not picking Tennessee to be Alabama, but what I'm saying is it'll feel good to see Tennessee return to dominance. But they have to keep winning games. You know, Tennessee went through a lot of head coaches. Guess who was still there to support their team? The fans. They have, like I said again, I'm going to keep saying it, they have one of the greatest fan bases in college football. They love their Vols. They really do. So let's just keep on going. I hate to say this, the LSU Tigers, they land 5-star cornerback Jacoby Matthews, the number 30 player in the class of 2022. I've seen a few highlights of this man. That's a very good pickup for LSU. So I hope the kid can blossom into the next great safety, the cornerback that comes out of LSU. Let's just keep on going. The CFL enters a crucial week facing uncertainty. And Baker Mayfield, he is locked in with the Cleveland Browns and also Denzel Ward. My thing is this here. Can Denzel Ward stay healthy? That's my biggest question. Can Jadeveon Clowney, can he stay healthy also in Cleveland? If Jadeveon Clowney, if he can manage to stay healthy in Cleveland this year, and Myles Garrett, he keeps doing what he's doing, Greedy Williams, and the rest of the guys in the back, Cleveland should have a great secondary. On paper, they're stacked. They look really good on defense. Okay, when I see the roster, Cleveland looks very good. Just like what Dallas did. When Dallas, they looked good on paper. They really did. But when the season started, they laid the goose egg. And I don't want my Cleveland Browns to lay a goose egg, because that'll come back on me. Because I'm a big Cleveland Browns fan. That'll come back on me. So I hope the Cleveland Browns, we can get farther into the playoffs this year. I think we have the team to get far. I really do. So we're going to see what the defense can do this year when the season starts. So my eyes will be on my Cleveland Browns this year. Baker Mayfield, you're locked in. So not only you're locked in, you're going to have to prove again. How far can you go in the playoffs? You are the leader. You are that guy that everybody will be looking at. How far can you take the Cleveland Browns this year? I will be watching really well. My eyes will be on my boy. I know he's going to do a great job in Cleveland. I am a big fan of Baker Mayfield. He was great in Oklahoma. He's having a great NFL career, a very fine NFL career. So let's speak on the NFL draft. I know we're going to talk about it later on Unscripted, I believe. So now, the NFL draft is coming up. We know it's coming up next week. A lot of players are excited, but I know one player who is very excited, and that is Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence is the only player right now that has an endorsement deal, far as I know. Trevor Lawrence, he has a deal with Gatorade already, so the man is already getting paid. We know he will be the number one player to be drafted going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's not made up. It ain't nothing that I thought of. We all knew that when Urban Meyer took the job. Jacksonville basically came out and said it. That's going to be their guy. So with that is, now you have to build around your guy. So what will Jacksonville do? Will Jacksonville say, hey, well, are we going to build around Trevor Lawrence, or are we just going to just let him go? Build around him. You've seen what happened to Joe Burrow. We've seen that. A nasty injury, so that you really can't shake back from, because it's going to take a lot of movement and all this, from you. So we're going to see what Trevor Lawrence can do. But I do have Trevor Lawrence. I'm about to blow a lot of people's mind, I'm about to shock a lot of people. But guess what? We all got our own opinion. I think that he will most likely be a bust. I don't really, care what most people think, because like I said, everybody has their own opinion on this. I do think he will probably be a bust. And I'm going to go with my second guy also. I'm going to go with Zach Taylor, because I think he's going to the Jets. No doubt about it. But the New York Jets, it's an absolute mess. It's an absolute mess. So he's going to get thrown into the fire, okay? He's going to get thrown into the fire. So what can he do in the big lights in the big city of New York? He could crash and burn. You're going to have to give these guys some help, because this draft is stacked on the quarterback side. But I'm going to tell you who the Pittsburgh Steelers need to get in a few minutes. But the Jets, you have to find a way to get weapons, because Zach Taylor is not going to last in New York one bit without any type of protection. You have to look at it from both sides. Okay, we get Zach Taylor. Okay, who are we going to get to protect him? Who are we going to get on the defensive side of the ball? It's not just offense that you need. You need defense. Do defense wins championships? Yeah, it does. Sometimes offense can win the Super Bowl, because some teams didn't have good defenses and they still made it to the Super Bowl. But I'm looking at the Jets. I'm trying to figure out what are they really going to do after they get their quarterback, because there's going to be a lot of quarterbacks gone in the top. As soon as the draft starts, it's going to be a lot of quarterbacks off the board. But I'm really high on Trey Lance. I'm a big fan of Trey Lance. I really am. There's something about Trey Lance that I love, that I absolutely love. I think he has a chip on his shoulder, the size of Hershey, Pennsylvania. I really do. I think if Trey Lance, whoever decides to get the young man, I think they're going to have a superstar in the making. I know it's not going to be the 49ers, but what I'm saying, listen to Big Shaw. I don't know everything, but I know some things. Whoever get Trey Lance will have a superstar in the making. I'm telling you, whoever drafts him, give this man the opportunity. I don't think he wants to sit back there for 2 or 3 years. Give this man the opportunity, because I'm telling you, he will be one of the best quarterbacks out of this draft class. Because when we hype up these guys, when we hype them up, then they get out there and they lay a goose egg. Then we all sitting back looking at each other like, wow, what happened to Trevor Lawrence? What happened to Zach Taylor? What happened? Because we put so much faith in these guys, and they get out and they just flat out bomb. Because who you got in Jacksonville? Jacksonville has the picks, so you're going to have to get him some help. So I'm going to give Jacksonville the benefit of the doubt. You're going to have to get Trevor Lawrence some help, and you're going to have to do that in the draft. Same for the Jets. Get them some help. But Trevor Lawrence, not Trevor Lawrence, I'm sorry, but Trey Lance, that is my guy. I've been high on him ever since he came into the draft. You can ask anybody, even my guys on Unscripted, that I'm going to later on in the night. And Trevor Lawrence is my superstar. He is my pick that I'm sticking with until I see different. You know, a lot of people, he only played, one year. That doesn't matter. What does that matter? I don't care what you did in college. I'm gonna care what you're gonna do on that football field. When those 6'6", let's just say 245-pound linebacker that's running a 4.4, maybe a 4.3, you have some fast linebackers, but you just don't hear about it coming at you. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna tell you what some are gonna do. I can tell you what Trevor Lawrence is gonna do. Trevor Lawrence, he's gonna flip out. You know why? Because he didn't really see this in college. This is a grown man's game. But welcome to the NFL, guys. Y'all day will be next week. So let's just keep on going. The Pittsburgh Steelers, great wide receiver, Mr. Hines Ward, is set to join the Florida Athletic coaching staff. Put this man in the Hall of Fame. Please put him in the Hall of Fame. He deserves it. We went over the Trevor Lawrence Gatorade deal. And my guy, Tiger Woods, he has posted photos from the backyard, updating fans on his injury. I'm glad to see old Tiger Woods getting better and taking care of himself. I'm a big fan of Tiger Woods. Ever since I was a kid, I've been watching him ever since, and I'm still watching him. And the Sacramento Kings star, De'Aaron Fox, to miss 10 to 14 days due to health and safety protocol. And the Detroit Lions, I want to talk about this. The Detroit Lions, they're discussing trading the number 7 pick. Now, Detroit need all the help they can get. They need everything. Detroit needs everything. So Detroit will be very dumb. Yes, I said it. Detroit will be very dumb. It'll be very stupid if they trade that number 7 pick. If they do that, this is what I want the Detroit fans and the whole franchise to do. You trade that pick, disappear, be gone. We don't need you in the NFL. If you do something so stupid, they do not deserve to have a team. Yes, I love my Pistons. Yes, I love Detroit. Beautiful place. My parents took us there when we was young. I love it. If I have the opportunity, I'll move to Detroit. But the Lions are in no shape of trading the number 7 pick. For what? What are you going to do that for? You have no reason to. You need all the help you can get in Detroit. Detroit Lions, listen to Big Shot. I know you got all the money in the world, but don't be stupid. Y'all will be the laughing stock of the NFL if you trade that number 7 pick. Same for Atlanta. Don't get rid of y'all picks, please. Because not only Detroit, Atlanta, Carolina, y'all all need help. This is the time to do it. You have a stacked draft class. This is the time to do it. Don't wait. This is the best time to do it. it's killing me because I think it's funny that you have trouble. You got a quarterback, okay? You got Jared Goff, but how far that Jared Goff can take you? Do you trust him? Okay, Detroit has a decent running game, but where are your wide receivers? Where are your offensive line? Where's your pass rush coming from? Who are your cornerbacks? Who are your linebackers? Who are your safeties? What does the Detroit Lions have? What reason that you want to trade your number 7 pick for? That just it's mind blowing. It's crazy. It's really crazy. It's Detroit. Don't trade it. Get who you need. I'm going to tell you who Detroit Lions should get, and I hate to wish this on such a great talent. I don't want to do this, but Jalen Wilder, you might have to go to Detroit. You might have to go save Detroit. And in other news, I'm sorry I had to talk about Detroit for a minute, but I want to talk about the Denver Broncos. Another headline that I have written down: the Denver Broncos. I said this before, and I was bashed. The Denver Broncos, they are looking for another quarterback. When I tell you things, people, I'm just not saying it just to hear myself talk. I'm telling you because I know for a fact that the Denver Broncos, yes, they like Drew Luck, but are they looking at him for the future and beyond? No, they're not. I've been saying this for a while now that the Denver Broncos are looking for a quarterback, and don't be surprised if they get Justin Fields. I've been sitting back thinking. Who could go to Denver? Who could revive that fan base, that team, give that team something to cheer about in the mile high weather? I thought about it for a long time, and I'm still thinking about it, but he'll look good in a Denver uniform. I'm going to go with Justin Fields to Denver. See, if you put Justin Fields in Denver, he has the weapons in Denver on the offense side of the ball, but Denver really don't have a running game. So would you look at Justin Fields as a great fit in Denver? Because I had him going to Atlanta. I'm really high on him going to Atlanta, but I can see Atlanta getting Kyle Pitts at that 4th spot. But that's not saying that he's better, to me. But I can see Justin Fields in a Denver Broncos uniform. So don't be surprised if John Elway and the Broncos brass, they look at Justin Fields as a possible starter. Could he come in and start? We don't know, but we'll find real soon. And same for Jalen Hurts. Now, I got a problem with Philadelphia. Now they're saying this: we don't have a starter. So why you don't got a starter? They want a quarterback competition. I'm going to tell you this. If Jalen Hurts don't beat Joe Flacco in the quarterback competition, then Jalen Hurts does not deserve to be the quarterback in Philadelphia. Don't believe me? Look it up yourself. I was shocked when I seen it. I was more shocked than anybody. And I know a Philadelphia fan. I mean a diehard Philadelphia fan. Not just a Philadelphia Eagles fan, but I'm talking about a real fan. Not somebody that I hinched up and dreamed of. I know a lot of diehard Philadelphia fans. A lot of them. A lot of great ones. So, Jalen Hurts, the draft is coming up. Who would Philadelphia? We're going to get on the Carolina Panthers here shortly. So, the Philadelphia Eagles, they need help all across the board. Okay? They need help everywhere. So, you got Jalen Hurts. You want to get a running back? You get running backs, they're available. They're available. They're like a single woman. They're available. So which way is Philly going to go? You can go cornerback. Let me give you a name. Give you a few names maybe Philly can go to. Now, I don't know if it'd be too high for this guy, but let me tell you, could they go for a Eric Stokes from Georgia? Could they go with an Elijah Moulton from Washington? Could they go for maybe a Asante Samuel Jr.? They could go somewhere and get a decent cornerback, but we're going to see. I'm anxious to see what Philly is going to do because Dallas has that 10th pick. And I'm looking at Dallas and seeing what Dallas is going to do. Now, we know who Dallas is going to pick. We know who Dallas is going to pick, but I wouldn't do it. If I was the Dallas Cowboys, I wouldn't do it. And one of my fans asked me, "Well, who would you pick if you was the GM?" Matter of fact, I'm going to do this right now. If you was the GM of, we're going to do it later, but I did ask me, well, if you're the GM of the Dallas Cowboys, who would you pick? I said, you know what? I'm going to hold off on that because we're going to figure out who's the best fit for the Dallas Cowboys secondary. The Dallas Cowboys have trouble in every aspect. Safeties, corners, linebackers, the line, offensive line. Leave the running back alone. They're good on receivers. I guess you're good with Dak Prescott since you paid him. So I guess everything turns over to the defense side of the ball. So after I finish these few headlines I have left, we're getting to the corners that are available. So let's finish up, guys. The Florida Marlins minor league baseball team has shut everything down due to the coronavirus. And the college football has been presented with expansion options. But that is not right now. That's going to be probably a little ways away from now. So we almost have 30 minutes, but I want to keep on going, guys. These headlines are good. Look here. These headlines are really good. We talked about the Tennessee Vols football program already, how we want to see them get better. How can Tennessee get better? We talked about it already. We discussed it already. So now when the season starts, Tennessee, they have to show us what they can do. And the Philadelphia Eagles, we talked about Jalen Hurts. They're not ready to call a starter yet. A few of the Houston Astros players are getting better from the coronavirus. And it's the New York Knicks is back. We're going to discuss that later on Unscripted, but I'm going to talk about it after our little 30 seconds. everybody. I'm back. Look, we got 30 minutes left. 30 minutes left. There's so much to talk about. But I'm sure everyone has heard about the LSU running back, Darius Geis. He has been banned. I'm reading this the way it was written, so nobody can say I put anything in it. LSU banning Darius Geis indefinitely. Take him out y'all records book. Take him out of everything. So did Coach O know about all this stuff that he did in LSU? Absolutely he did. Absolutely he did. Coach O should be asked about this stuff. He seems like a yes man. Anyway, so again, LSU banning Darius Geis indefinitely. The New York Knicks, are they back? Yes. Yes, and then no, because we know the New York Knicks, they can crash and burn. They can do good at first, and they can just crash. But if the New York Knicks, this is Big Shaw saying this, if the New York Knicks, if they're winning, basically the NBA is winning because a lot of people love the New York Knicks, just like they love the LA Lakers. If you had a poll and asked that simple question on who likes who, Lakers, Knicks. I'm not talking, and the young folks wouldn't understand. They'll say the Lakers because of LeBron James. I'm talking about the fans that was in my era, like when Jordan was there, Karl Malone, guys that was in that era. It'd be tough. It'd be too close to call, because they're both great NBA franchises. They're both great NBA franchises. So I think the Knicks are back for right now, but anything can happen from here on out. So I love the way Mr. Julius Randle, I love the way he's playing right now. I'm not going to go off and say he's going to win MVP, but he's playing really well. Can he keep this good play up? They're number 4 in the East. So I like what they're doing. I'm not going to put the curse on the I'm going to say Yankees. I'm not going to put the curse on the New York Knicks, but they have to continue to keep playing well. I've been seeing what they've been doing from afar. I've been mostly watching the NBA games after the games, so it gives me a lot of stuff to look at. And so when I saw what the Knicks was doing, I kind of said, I'm not worried about Philly, Brooklyn. I pushed them to the side, and I looked at the New York Knicks. I said this before the season started. Watch out for the New York Knicks. That's going to be my sleeping pick, my sleeper team. They're number 4 in the East. They have to continue to keep playing well. I know my time is getting short, but the Knicks have to continue to keep playing well. The better the Knicks are, the better the NBA will be. Some people don't even understand that. Listen to what I'm saying. The more games the New York Knicks win, it's better. It's better for the NBA. If you don't understand what I'm saying, just figure it out. The more the New York Knicks win, it's better for the NBA. The NBA would need the Knicks to win games. If the fans were allowed, like I said, I wouldn't know if they were because I hadn't watched the game in a minute. But if the fans were allowed in the Madison Square Garden, it'd be sold out in no time because they love the New York Knicks. They love their basketball. So don't be surprised if the Knicks do good in the playoffs. They're going to shock folks. I'm telling you, they will. Let's keep on going, people. Let's keep on going. Let's not stop now. Let's see here. Hockey news. I told y'all I was going to do it. Sidney Crosby, one of the greatest. He's a great hockey player. He's going to the Hall of Fame when it's all said and done. Sidney Crosby has become the third player. Like Wayne Gretzky, Howie, he became the third player to achieve 16 points per game and per season. That's pretty good. And what makes an NFL leader? I've seen where somebody said, what makes a great NBA leader? What makes a great NFL leader? Man, that's a good one. I say let's kind of tweak it a little bit. Let's leave it alone. Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. One of the greatest quarterbacks. Just that foot on the football field. We know where he come from. He came from the University of Tennessee. He couldn't beat Florida for nothing in his life. But the things that he overcame came with the neck injury. Couldn't beat Florida. Couldn't beat Tom Brady for nothing to save his life. But he didn't give up. He kept going. He kept going and he kept going and he kept going. And he finally did it. Some may say, well, Bob Sanders intercepted the ball, so we're good to Bob Sanders. But a lot of y'all now, not to get off the subject, but if you never knew who Bob Sanders is, I'm saying is because he's still alive. Bob Sanders was a great safety for the Indianapolis Colts. I know the youngsters out there don't know who Bob Sanders is, but Bob Sanders was amazing on the football field. He was fast. He was quick. He was like a wolf. He was like a crazy man, like he had a GPS on the ball. But his injuries is what plagued him. And I'm going to stand on my word. If not for the injuries, I think Bob Sanders we probably could have been talking maybe Hall of Fame, a longer career. But if those of y'all, if y'all never known who Bob Sanders was, go Google and research and watch what kind of player he was on the field. And if I could remember, he never had off the field problems. Never. He came from Iowa. He was a Hawkeye. Great school. That's where he came from. But again, if you never in your life, go look him up on Google. We Google everything nowadays. Go Google it. Well, let's see here, folks. We're almost done here with the topics. Told you I had a lot of topics. Here goes something brand new that I want to speak on, and I want everybody to start jumping on this. It's something that y'all will love. The HBCU gymnastics program is growing. I really do believe that the sports world, not just me, should start watching this. Now, if we can watch the D1 schools like Georgia, USC, Florida, Tennessee, Clemson, Miami, if we can watch them schools, you can take time out and watch the African American schools, like the Southern, like the Grambling, the Jackson States, Tennessee States, West Alabama. You can watch those schools as well in gymnastics. Put them on the national spotlight too. But they don't want that. They don't want that. They don't want that challenge. But I think they should give a lot of those schools, the HBCU schools, I think they should give those schools the same opportunities as they give the D1 schools. I mean, they do the same thing, but one is just more nationally known than the other. If you ask a kid, hey, you want to go to West Alabama, they're gonna say, what's that? It's really gonna tell you. It's really gonna tell you because the schools like that, they don't get the national wide publicity as the other schools. And I think they should split that right down the middle. Because you know where your talent comes from. Your talent comes from small schools, basically. That's where they come from. So we only have, oh man, we don't have much time left, guys. The top cornerbacks in this year's draft. Mr. Patrick Surtain Jr., that comes from the University of Alabama. J.E. Horn, South Carolina. We're going to talk about them two guys here in a minute. Greg Newsome, University of Northwestern. Asante Samuel Jr., he's my sleeper. He's my dark horse. Caleb Furley, Virginia Tech. We have two Georgia Bulldogs. We have Eric Stokes and Tyson Campbell and Elijah Moulton from Washington. Now, I will say this, and I hope Dallas listens to me. Do not get Patrick Surtain. Go get J.E. Horn from South Carolina. He will be your best bet. He will be your best bet. Now, I'm not taking anything from my guy in Alabama. No. I wouldn't dare. But these guys play really different. Now, it has been times to where I've seen plenty of games that Patrick Surtain got whooped. I can say that. I've seen the games. But can he show us in the NFL? Now, and I'm saying anything wrong? No, I'm just stating facts. Every cornerback and every safety is gonna get burned. You're gonna have those bad games that you're gonna get your butt tore up. Yeah, you gave up 3 touchdowns. Yeah, that happens. But it's just something about J.E. Horn from South Carolina that I like. And I think that the Dallas Cowboys, they should get J.E. Horn. I'm just saying. Or maybe just get Patrick Surtain and let him play alongside the other Alabama corner. But you're going to hear these names. You're going to hear Asante Samuel Jr. I think you might hear him in the first round. Not the top 10. I didn't say that. But you're going to hear him. You're going to hear his name. You're going to hear Caleb Furley. You're going to hear Eric Stokes, Tyson Campbell, Elijah Moulton. You're going to hear these names in the draft. Mark these down. Let's go ahead and say it. Let's go write that down line again if you didn't hear it. Patrick Surtain Jr., Greg Newsome, Asante Samuel Jr., Caleb Furley, Eric Stokes, and Tyson Campbell, and Elijah Moulton. Write these names down. Don't forget these names. You will hear these names next week. I'm telling you, you will hear these names next week. And I have a huge feeling that we're going to have a lot of shockers. And I got some news here. Nikki Fargrass steps down at LSU, the former Tigers women's head coach, reportedly in talks to become the Aces president. Okay, that just came across my phone. But you're going to hear these guys' names go across the board. But I got a feeling J.E. Horn name will be called before Patrick Surtain. I know some people, they'll argue me down, oh, Patrick Surtain is better. J.E. Horn, I think, is the better cornerback in this class. It's just me. Like I said earlier, we all have our own opinions on this. While we have a short time, let's talk about the Texas Longhorns schedule. Let's talk about that right quick. All right, they play the Raging Cajuns. That game is at home. Well, matter of fact, I'm not going to tell you the road and home. I'm just going to tell you the schedule. They play the Raging Cajuns of Lafayette. Mark this game on your calendar. Texas Longhorns versus the Arkansas Razorbacks. Then they play Rice. Then Big 12 play starts. It's going to be a tough one. They play Texas Tech. Then TCU. Then from TCU, the Red River rivalry, I'm going to go ahead and call this game. Oklahoma's going to beat them. Then they play Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State versus Texas. Texas versus Baylor. Texas versus Iowa State. Texas versus Kansas, November 13th. My birthday is November 12th. Don't forget that. And then it's West Virginia. Then it's Kansas State. I'm going to tell you this right now. That Texas game is in Morgantown. I'm going to let you know. If you've never been to Morgantown, West Virginia, you've never been to that stadium, let me tell you something. That is the most loudest and most craziest place to play in the Pac-12. You've never been there. Same thing. If you got some players on Texas that probably have never played in West Virginia, in Morgantown, especially at night. They are rowdy and they are ready. And believe me, they have this game marked down on their calendar. I am willing to bet anything. The West Virginia Mountaineers game can show a lot. It can prove a lot. It can hurt you, or it can make you a winner. West Virginia, those fans are rowdy. That is a rowdy bunch out in Morgantown. I love Morgantown, West Virginia. I really do. But that's for the players and that's for the fans. If you never traveled out that way for a game, let me tell you something. You're going to be in for a special treat. And hope to God that game is not at night. That's all I'm going to tell you. That's all I'm going to tell you. West Virginia will be rocking. Morgantown will be lit. Morgantown will be uplifted. They are ready for you, Texas. And then they play Kansas State. But, yeah, mark the Texas. Mark these games down. Mark them down. As I tell you. Mark the Arkansas game down. The Texas Tech game. These games that I'm saying is going to show us what Texas is going to have to do. Will they survive this? Arkansas, Texas Tech. Don't worry about too much TCU. Don't worry about them too much. But worry about everybody, basically. Oklahoma State. Mark these games down. They're gonna take care of Baylor. I'm not worried about Baylor. They're gonna have a fight with Iowa State. There's gonna be a fight. And Kansas, they're gonna spank Kansas. And West Virginia. Watch that game very closely, folks. Watch this game very closely because something can happen in Morgantown that's going to shock the Texas Longhorns this year. It depends on if Texas can get off to a hot start. If Texas can get off to a 3-0 start before they get to Texas Tech, they can be okay. But that Arkansas game is going to be a fight as well. A real big fight. Real big fight. So, we're almost out of time, everybody. So, let's get to this one last thing. Today in history, in sports history. This year in history. 1905. I'll give y'all a little history lesson real quick. This will be called the Big Shaw History Lesson. This is something that I thought of today. All right, this day in history, April 24th, 1905. First class rocket debut of Sir Jack Hobbs, the master for serving, the gentleman of England. And another one. On this day in history, April the 24th, 1917, the New York Yankees lefty George Modric no hits against the Boston Red Sox 2-1 at Fenway. So that was today in history. But folks, that is it on the Big Show Sports Report. I want to thank everyone for listening. I told you I wasn't going to be on here too long, and I did that. We had to have another show going on in about five minutes. But I want to thank everybody for listening to my show, bringing me into your laptops, your phone, or your TV, whatever you do to listen to me. And thank y'all guys for supporting my show. But don't forget, I have stuff on YouTube, Big Shot Sports on YouTube. Like and subscribe, comment, share, keep it up. Same thing for Northeast Streaming Sports. Look us up on Zodiac TV, where we're everywhere. Hopefully, we'll have even more and bigger news coming soon. But I want to thank everybody again for seeing my face. I know sometimes y'all don't want to see this, but sometimes it's great to see my face. And I also want to thank my other fans for checking up on me yesterday. Asked me why when you were on yesterday, we missed your face. We need to see you. So I'm back. So remember, the Big Show Sports Report is live every Friday and Saturday at 6 o'clock. So thank y'all guys for listening, for hanging out with me for this hour. So we got a long way to go, folks. But before I go, this is something I wanted to talk about. Did y'all hear the Brett Favre comments? Now, I almost spit out my Kool-Aid when I heard about it. Yeah, I was sick yesterday. When I heard about it, I kind of said, I don't know. I don't understand. But in closing, I want to say that these guys should be in the National Football Hall of Fame. Hines Ward and Sterling Sharp, hands down. These guys should be in the Football Hall of Fame. And Chris Paul, one of the greatest point guards I ever seen play the game of basketball. Show this man some love. He don't even have to win a ring now. He don't have to win it. Because he's won the Hall of Fame. Guess what? He's going to go first ballot. I bet you he's going to go first ballot. If he can get the Suns, I'm just hypothetically, let's just say, if he gets into the NBA Finals, if Chris Paul can get these guys to the NBA Finals, I know it's crazy talk. I know, I understand. But if he can get them to the NBA Finals, I tell you what, it's going to be a magical ride. It's going to be a magical ride if he can get these guys to the NBA Finals. But that's it, folks. I know I've been saying that for a second, but thank y'all again for listening to the Big Show Sports Report. And I'm going on to Unscripted right now. They just sent me the link. So I want to thank everybody again. Remember, go on Zodiac TV. Support all the shows. My guy, Keith Engel. Great show. Great guy. I was on this show before. My guy did Unscripted. Check them out too. But don't forget about your boy Big Shaw. Like, again, share. You don't have to look at it for an hour. Maybe just give it 5 minutes of your time. I don't ask much. So maybe 5 minutes of your time. Sit back and enjoy, the good sports that I bring to you. I don't know what everybody else brings, but I try to bring it to you the best way I can. And hopefully soon we'll take off like a hot air balloon. But again, thank y'all very much. This has all been brought to you by the Northeast Streaming Sports and Zodiac TV. Thank y'all for listening to the Big Shaw Sports Report.
You're listening to the Big Shaw Sports Report on Northeast Streaming Sports.